Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for is now here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get him, Bobby.
Now rocking with
DZ, the Incredible.
Now, a question just came to my mind, and this is based off of a Facebook post that I saw.
Right.
Someone was talking about how they say that things like high blood pressure and heart disease run in the family. Are those things really genetic, or are they just formed because of way of life?
I think it's possibly two. It's possibly both, but you could turn your genes off and on. You know, like you say, if it's diabetes running through the family, or cancer, or hypertension, what's really running through the family is a specific diet. And over a period of time, because that group is eating specific foods, you see it and then you say it's genetic. So now, what if you decided not to eat what the family was eating? Would you still get the hypertension? Would you still get the diabetes? Would you still be prone to cancer? I think not. You would remove yourself from that issue, because now you are not, or you are less likely to be afflicted with those diseases. So, and we've seen people, and many people, who have changed their diets, changed their lifestyles, and they've turned that off. They've turned that specific aspect off. Or people who've had it and they've reversed it, or they've removed it from their system. So it's definitely a dietary change, a lifestyle change. Once they do that, all that stuff is history. So if the succeeding generations in that particular family decide to move plant-based lifestyle, those ailments would be all gone.
Yeah, like I think that here in the Bahamas, I think that diabetes has now become the number one sickness that people are suffering from, even more than cancer. I mean, the cancer was just running rampant, and it still is, but I think the diabetes is now overtook it.
I think diabetes is overtaking it because so many people are affected by it.
How can we work on now reversing this thing called diabetes and even cancer?
Yeah, well, definitely we need to make smarter choices. Go into the store, go into the food store, not purchasing all this processed food, the chips and all those things that require you to open a box. We need to shop in the outer periphery of the store, the produce section. But the thing is, people need to know how to prepare these things. They want to know how to prepare the meals, how to prepare the food that is associated with this. So I know we have meal plans, we have things of that nature. We have meal plans, so we can show people which foods to eat and how to prepare those foods. We have cookbooks, we have all these things. We have specific meal plans for diabetes. We have specific meal plans for women who have fibroids and whatnot. We have people who have cancer and all these things. We have specific meal plans for those groups of people. We can kind of customize certain things for certain groups. We have a meal plan and a guideline, a general guideline. Then we have things specific for people who have specific ailments, because we know, like we're saying, those ailments are more prolific in the society, like the diabetes and the cancer, and with men, prostate, with women, the fibroids and cervical cancer and breast cancer. So we have specific diets that would eliminate those substances or those foods that would aggravate those situations. Because things such as cancer, all that is the body breaking down the cells in an anaerobic state. That's all that is. That's all those things. Cancer is like the ultimate. That's like the end point where you have cellular death. So we want to reverse that. We want to put high frequency, high electrical, biophotonic foods, which is living foods. The more living foods, the more living substances you put into the system, that's how you reverse disease. You change the frequency of the cell. The cell is now responding back to an aerobic state. So it's dealing with oxygen, it's dealing with hydrogen, it's dealing with the elements that keep the cells functioning. When you put things in an anaerobic state, mold, fungus, and yeast, starts to break those things down back into its basic form to be recycled back into the chain of life. So that's really what's going on. So it's very easy to reverse diseases. We have a number of compounds, a number of therapeutic herbal botanicals that we put together that can reverse just about any and every disease known to man. I mean, it's simple. We just have to continue to utilize that particular methodology. Once we use that methodology, we good. Yeah, the food, the herbs, the lifestyle, positive outlook, getting your exercise, getting your fresh air, getting your clean water. Those things are what keep life going. If you have a stagnant pond, there's no life in that. But if you have a flowing pond, or if you have a flowing spring, a self-replenishing spring, there's always going to be life inside it. Always going to be life. Disease itself is caused by the lack of the living components. So you have a stagnant pond, you have garbage, you have all these things. What attracts, or what is attracted to those things? You have rats and flies, because why? The environment itself was made non-conducive to that, to regular life. When you remove all of that stuff, those things go away. Garbage attracts those things. If garbage isn't there, those things are not going to be attracted to anything. They're not going to be around. But they are the decomposers of life. They break things down. So if the body is in that state, that means it's going into a decomposing state. So we need to reverse that. Once we reverse that, everything comes back.
Because I even heard you, when you were talking about fasting,
right?
You said that fasting allows the organs and the cells in the body to reset.
Yeah. And
so I'm thinking now, if maybe that people who are, battling or suffering with diabetes and cancer, if fasting would be one of the first things that, they should do, because I know they say that when a person has diabetes, that means that the pancreas is not producing sufficient insulin to combat the carbs and the sugars that go into the body. So would fasting actually cause the pancreas to start to reset and start to produce more insulin?
What ends up happening in most cases with the diabetes, you have people who have too much, because there's so much sugar and so much of that floating around the body. The body's continuously producing this insulin. So if it's continuously producing this insulin, what ends up happening, you end up building up a resistance. So you continuously having starch, which is a complex sugar, you have all this sugar in the system, the body, it burns out. Some people are producing not enough insulin, or the ducts, or those they call it the islets of Langerhans is clogged up. So you need to remove the obstructions so the body could secrete the insulin, so it could deal with the sugars.
Those would be the people that become what they call insulin dependent, or taking shots all day.
Taking shots, like yeah. And that's what it is. And a lot of people are experiencing this because of the high meats and high starch, high sugar, processed types of foods that they're eating. So the body goes into this. It's like rocket fuel. You're constantly giving the body a boost of some nitrogenous substance, something that just keeps it burning, so the body burns out faster. You're burning out the pancreas faster, you're burning out the liver faster, you're burning out your kidneys, because it has to keep processing all of this stuff on and on and on and on. So the quickest way to heal the body is fasting and raw foods. It's the quickest way. That's the best way to heal the body. Taking the herbs or taking the botanicals, those things are super, way beyond super. Those are boosted foods. Those things have the right nutritional factors that help to remove a disease. It's just mineral deficiencies. We get a lot of mineral deficiencies. One of them is iron, anemia. We're not eating foods, or we're eating foods that constantly constipate us. A lot of the hybridized foods and fruits cause that. Banana is a hybrid. Banana is a clone. You know, the regular banana is what I think is the Cavendish banana. That's been around from the late 50s. It's the same banana over and over and over again. All the bananas look the same, right? They all look the same. A wild banana has huge seeds.
Someone told me that. Someone told me that the real banana
the
that we
real
should be
wild
eating
banana
has seeds in it.
Yeah, it has seeds, and you could see a semblance of it in the plantains. You see the little tiny little seeds.
Yeah.
Those seeds are like 3 and 4 times the size of that. They're huge. They take up the whole fruit. You could actually go online and just Google wild banana, and you will see it. It looks just like our hog bananas, and when they slice it open, tons of seeds, big, very big, and those seeds can reproduce. You can put those in the ground and it'll grow. Those are wild bananas, but they're not as tasty as
the hybrid.
You know, and that's what it is. We cultivated all these foods for taste and for look. We want them to look a nice bright yellow, or a nice bright orange, or a nice bright red. So, and then there's some foods or some fruits out there that are very difficult to hybridize. These wild plants are very difficult to hybridize. Some of them are very difficult to hybridize, which is a good thing, which means they're seasonal. You know, I think juju in season right now. I don't know. As far as I know, we grew up with juju. Around this time, juju's plentiful, and after the season's over, something else is coming in. You know, we have tamarind. Tamarind grows wild all around. You know, we have soursop, sugar apple. You know, these are things that we grew up on. Cocoa plum. You know, we have the coconuts. Coconuts wash up on the shore, and you got coconut trees. You know, these are just some of the things that just I feel grow natively. Some of the things were brought down here, but they grow because this environment is very similar to the environment that those things come from. You know, here are I guess our native mangoes. You know, those are seasonal. You know, pears and avocados, those are seasonal. You know, which is good. We should eat more in-season fruit. That's another tip. Season fruits that are in a specific season. Because when we go to the local grocery store, you know, those foods are always in there, which means about 99% of everything is hybridized. So we pick through those hybridized foods and show you which are the better ones, which is why I say eat the seeded ones. When summertime comes, we have mango and cherries, and after the season's over, you don't see them any longer. You know, so it's the same thing. You know, we should be eating more, like we say, or like I was saying, organic foods or seasonal foods, and the foods that are based on our region would be the best foods to eat. So when those foods come in season, we should be eating them all the time. They should be like snacks, like how we would eat a bag of chips. We should be eating those all the time. We should be eating the cherries. You know, we have the local cherries that grow around here. We had a tree in the yard, and a couple of years ago it died, but every so often you go outside, you just see cherries on the tree. You're like, wow. You know, we just go there and we pick them. We had guava. We had all the guava trees, the different types of guava trees. And when guava's in season, we picked them. The tree got so big that you could barely see the guavas. The guavas would fall on the ground, and we just collect them and make guava duff and do all these other different things, or just eat the guavas. You know, high in vitamin C. As a matter of fact, guava has more vitamin C than an orange. You know, those same cherries, those acerola cherries, they call them, I think, the Bermuda cherry. I think that's what they're called. That's actually where they got vitamin C from, the acerola cherry. So the acerola cherry is high in vitamin C, which is good for this time of the year. The vitamin C helps the body metabolize iron. So when you take our compounds, when you take the stuff that we put together, you're getting all of the wildcrafted foods and fruits that I could possibly think of that will help boost your immune system and boost you back to health. I know when you take this stuff, within a couple of minutes you start feeling energized and you start feeling much better. For a lot of people who are really, really sick, it may take some time for them to get back to the health, where they have herpes, HIV, cancer, whatever it is, because the body is in such a state that it needs to be saturated with those botanicals, with those herbs, with the right types of foods, and they can bounce back. We've done it. We've been doing it for quite some time.
So I don't want to pull you into any controversy or get you into trouble.
Right.
But this issue that they discussing now with the marijuana, what is your view on it? Because I know that you're an accomplished nutritionist, and you have years of experience. Now, do you think that marijuana can be beneficial in curing a lot of the illnesses that we have around, recreationally or through smoking the marijuana, or should we consider introducing it in medicinal form, in a tablet, or maybe in a liquid that you take in spoonfuls or whatever like that?
Well, definitely marijuana is good. It's definitely good. It's been used for thousands of years. Smoking anything is not good, but that doesn't take away from the medicinal use of marijuana. Marijuana is excellent. My take is making a tea out of it, which of course would make it very concentrated, but it's good. It's very good. I definitely would agree. The smoking part is the part I have, because anything you burn oxidizes, and that's not good. That doesn't mean the marijuana is not good. It's just the burning of it is no good. But the plant itself, 100%, very medicinal, very good for a lot of ailments. A lot of people who have seizures, a lot of people who have nerve conditions, things of that nature, found great benefit in using marijuana. So it's something that we seriously need to consider in decriminalizing and finding ways of using it, because it helps with a lot of things that regular pharmaceuticals that have so many side effects. We should definitely look at using cannabis, hemp, and all these things for the relieving of the ailments that people are currently suffering from, without having all those side effects.
How are we looking on time, boy? 45. All right, we can wrap up right now. Okay, so we're about to wrap up. So I want you to give our viewers, give them your top 5 products that they can use along with changing what they're eating. To start to develop healthier bodies, healthier lifestyles.
Definitely. Well, top products. C4. C4 is a combination of various seaweeds. It has the Irish moss, it has the sea moss, it has 3 Icelandic kelps, it has bladderwrack, and another seaweed called Alaria. This is your mineralizer. This is your nourisher. This is going to nourish the body. That's a top seller. That's something that I could never run out of. I need to keep that flowing because of all of the benefits that people are getting from using that. So definitely that. The next one I would definitely recommend is the electric herbal tonic, or as people know, the electric herbal tea. Very good detox, blood purifier. It helps to remove pathogens out of the blood. Very, very, very good. It has substances in it that helps to reduce tumors, mass, cysts, all of these different things. Very, very important. People who have hypertension and diabetes, definitely use that. Next one, dark matter. Dark matter is an intracellular chelation. It removes the morbid matter out of the colon. It helps to remove a lot of those parasites out of the colon also. So people who have issues with cancer, herpes, HIV, all of these very deadly maladies or diseases or ailments, it would be beneficial to use that along with those other 2 that I mentioned. Also, circulation tonic. Circulation tonic is wonderful. It helps with the flow of the blood. Obstructions within the vessels. It helps to remove that. It helps to relieve any congestion, excess mucus in the system. Then we have hematonic, which is a blood builder. It builds the plasma and the hemoglobin up. It has a lot of iron-forming herbs and botanicals that help to strengthen the plasma and strengthen the blood. So people who have issues with their immune system, that can help boost it. And there's one more. It's a newer product, and people are starting to buy it up more, which is called the immunity. Now the immunity helps to boost the immune system. It has 3 very important herbs: osha root, cat's claw, and peo pereira, and those help to boost the immune system, get the immune system percolating. And of course we have the male and female formula. The intense, the male intense and the female intense, to help build the hormonal structure back up, help to regulate for men, the testosterone, for women the progesterone, and basically taking those would do it. I have a lot more other products, but those are like the big ones right there. Those are the ones that people buy consistently and constantly, and they've gotten rave reviews, for the different types of conditions, like I say, the diabetes, the hypertension, the cancer and whatnot. These have helped to reverse and remove these conditions from people.
Okay, so give everybody your contacts, how they can find you, because we have covered a lot,
right? But
we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg.
No, absolutely not.
So,
we just skating along the iceberg right now. Yeah.
So let people know how they can reach you, so they can come in and they can contact you and get their nutritional counseling. Definitely.
Well, we're Essentially Alkaline. We're located on Rosetta Street. We're directly opposite the City Corporate Center, and phone contact is 356-3301. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Essentially Alkaline, and you could give us a call. We open 9 to 6 Monday to Saturday. People have been very receptive. We're approaching 2 years we've been open, and a lot of people have been patronizing the store and giving us and showing us love, and showing us that they're actually interested in living a healthier life and trying to move in that direction, getting away from eating all of the foods that we've grown up on and all of the fast foods and whatnot. They're actually making a change. A lot of people actually were doing it prior to the new year. They were doing it around before Christmas. They say they're gonna meet this new year healthy. They're not gonna wait until after, which is a good sign.
Yeah. You've been locked into Live in the Direct with yours truly, DJ Incredible. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my special guest, Mr. Donnaveo Sherman, the nutritional specialist of the Bahamas. Listen, man, we got to get it right. The secret to longer life is doing just what we've been talking about for this very long time. So, Bahamas, let's get it right. And listen, man, don't just live life, but live an incredible life.
Right.